Hello folks, it's September and I am on the Hanure server, and in this video what I would like to do is take a look at the profitability of Larceny in 3.0 on a legacy server. A very prominent YouTuber, Jason Wyvart, has already done a very similar video, and that's where I got this idea. Thank you, Jason. Showing how much money you can actually make by your larceny profession. But his video was focusing on the fresh start servers, and I think he concluded that it was like something crazy, like 15 silver per labor point, something like that, for just doing the coin purse farming. No one likes to do that anymore because of the drop rates. But the value of these items was enough to prompt me to go ahead and try it. And mostly it was in regards to the prices of the Mysterious Garden Powder. Today I saw they are almost 20 gold each. So I went ahead and I basically duplicated his video. We farmed the same mobs. Now, so here's the difference. He was on a fresh start server. He was using like a level 52 character, crap gear, and he was also in a war zone at the time. And you know what he ended up with was basically where I got 42 Jester Crates, he got 26. Where I got 214 of the coin purses, he got 111. I ended up with 16 different weapon drops, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about these drops here. He got 11. My armor drops are 18. He got 11 of those as well. And I pulled 4 pieces of jewelry. He pulled 3. There's one notable exception on his video, and I'm going to link that in the description below. He actually did find one of those metallic crates, and although I killed probably close to twice as many mobs as he did, I did not find one of the metallic crates. So the point is because he was on a fresh start server, he doesn't have the gear. He didn't have the same gear that I had, and I thought, you know what? Let's just take a look at it and how it would actually look if he was geared up, but he was on a legacy server. So first, let's look at my gear. It is nothing amazing. Basically, the best item I own is a tier 6 epic scepter. Everything else is just basically divine items. I do have an Ionod divine. Nothing really spectacular. I mean, there's nothing amazing about my gear. My gear score is 6215. But I was able to AoE farm, and I farmed the exact same mobs as he did, the frightened zebras, and my results were better. I got more items. So I'm going to hold off calculating the actual math until the end of it, but let's go ahead and take a look at some of the loot. So I got 42 of these crates. The labor cost to open them is 10, but at my proficiency level, I am going to be getting a 30% reduction, so they're only going to cost me 7 labor each to open. 7 labor each. Okay, so I just made a mistake. I forgot I actually have some of these items on my person, so I'm going to fix that. Be right back. Okay guys, sorry about that. I actually forgot I store some of the Archeage dust so I can do my guild dailies. So I opened 4 of them, and at this point I have 12 of the Moonlight, 6 of the Sunlight, and 6 of the 6 of the Starlight and 6 of the Sunlight, and one Mysterious Garden Powder and 1 Lunarite so far. So let's go ahead and pop the rest. Yeah, glowing prisms are pretty garbage, even on fresh start. I mean, they're just garbage. They're just so common, and there's not that many uses for them. So I don't like seeing that, but I definitely like seeing these mysterious garden powders coming out of here. Yeah, the dust that are dropping, you usually get 5 to 6 each, which is enough always to make at least a shard. Make some notes here while I go through this. What we ended up out of those 42 crates was 14 Lunarite, 9 Mysterious Garden Powders, I'm going to call those MGPs, 86 Moonlights, Dust, 45 Starlight Dust, and 98 Sunlight Dust. And then 10 glowing prisms, which I believe are still garbage. If not, I've got a whole stack of them we'll be happy to sell. Okay, so that's that. And so in Jason's video, and I kind of agree with this, unless you're really in a pinch and you don't have anything to do with your labor, it's probably not worth opening the regular coin purses. They cost 5 labor, and even with my reduction, it's still going to cost 3 labor, I believe. 4 labor. And I'm getting 14, 12, 11, 10, 13, 11, 11, 12, 14, 14. Yeah, so let's just say 13 silver each. And at 4 labor each, that is not even, it's barely over 3 silver per labor point. So I'm not even going to try to count those in a calculation. They're just not worth it. Okay, so then the other thing, let's take a look at these weapons. And what I found is I actually made a dwarf character, and I was opening the weapons that he found, just naturally, these wrapped weapons. And it turns out that they're actually worth some decent money if you get the right stats. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Now, at 40 labor each, that's going to come out to, I think, 28 labor each to open. Let's take a look. Yep, 28 labor. And it's just like there's a lot of people that are making alts and leveling, and they just want a decent weapon. And look, there's none available. So this is a katana. It's got agility and stamina. I mean, right there, that's a great archer weapon. I'm probably thinking I'm getting 5 gold. 5 gold for 28 labor. That's worth it to me. Let's take a look at another one. All right, so there's a demon talion. That's a dagger. There's a that one is okay, I guess. It's got intelligence and spirit, so it might be a good offhand for a mage, or a cleric that's using the one-hand scepter. There's a short spear. That looks decent for, decent for a level 40. I mean, at level 40, you can't do much. So finding these kind of weapons is pretty decent. And if I can get 5 gold for 28 labor, I'll take that every day. So I'm going to go ahead and open the rest of these up. Now, look at that. There's a unique. 28 labor. That's probably worth 20, 30 gold. I don't know. Ghost Requiem. if you need a mid-level weapon, I mean, and you're leveling a new character, you know, 5-10 gold on a legacy server is not bad. I mean, I don't know. What do you think? So here's the other ones. That's a long spear, two-handers. Two-hander. Looks like those are all going to be two-handers. Here's a one-hander. I think the axe can be used. Yeah, can be used as an offhand. And there's another unique. You know, another unique greatsword. Now that's a turd. I mean, unfortunately, it's a turd because it's got intelligence and spirit on it. But you know, worst case scenario on any of these is you salvage them for the dust costs. Take a look at the jewelry. Now these are level 45, so these may end up becoming wisp. But we'll take a look at that. Let's do the armor. And that's okay. These are all leather pieces here. That's decent. I mean, you know, these are not, but they're level 40. So, you know, there's that gear, that little gap in the gear spot. Oh, I'm going to run out of labor. Now that's a really nice little level 40 piece. That one's not quite as good. That one's fair. Probably a mage type, or I'm sorry, a healer type. This one here, that's pretty poo. This one's definitely garbage. That's a really, really nice helm for that level. All right, so there's another unique item. Of course, it's plate. And so, you know, what's going to happen with this, and this is how I operate. I'm going to look at these, and I'm going to see, okay, I got the leather items, like nothing sold, or I got the two-handers and none of them sold, then I'll just not open them. Worst case scenario is I salvage them and get, you know, a few wisp out of them. Okay, so the last thing we want to do is get some values here. And let's take a look at the lunarite. Okay, so I found the lunarite, and because of the name being so similar to everything else, it was actually on the fourth page. But let's take a look at the value. So currently they're at 71 silver each, and that's the same day average. It's kind of trending up right now. But today 7-day average is like 32. That sounds more respectable to me, so let's just say 32 silver on those. The mysterious garden powders, like I said, they were like 20 gold earlier today, and that's why I did this video. They're really going up, and part of that reason is no one's doing this. Just no one's out here doing these coin purses anymore. They just wrote it off as horrible. So let's see if the math supports it. So the same day average is 15, almost 16 gold. And they're at 20, and there's not that many available. I mean, literally less than 100, less than 50 on the auction house. And so I'm just going to call these at 18 gold each. Moonlight Dust. Let's take a look at the trends on these. I mean, I would be happy to say same day average 13, 7 day average 58. I wonder why these numbers are a little wonky to me. What are people asking now? 10? Yeah, so let's just say 13 silver each. Or am I crazy here? So there's some cheap up there, but you know, for the most part, I don't know if someone's doing gold trades or what, but these numbers are a little wonky. Let's just say 10 silver. Let's use the numbers that are there. Starlight, I know that is going to be our best dust. 69, 70 each. I would actually buy that. Let's take a look at the charts. 7 day average is 65, same day is 76, 61, 55, 70, 79, 72, 79. I would say if we're going to just stick with it and use the prices that we're seeing, 69 silver each. And then finally, let's look at the sunlight. 13, I would actually believe that to be true. It's actually lower than the average. But let's just say 13. 13 silver each. And then the glowing prisms, I'm pretty sure are just vendor trash, but let's look. Holy crap. 50 silver each? Come on. 10 silver, yeah. So I'm going to go with 10 silver as the value of those. Alright, so I had to pause it to run and crunch the numbers so I could display that here on the screen. It's pretty amazing. Really it is. Let's take a look at this. First of all, you'll notice I sorted my backpack, and one thing I did find is that the jewelry is basically worthless. I saved one, but what I'm going to end up doing is salvaging it. And if I look at the value, like 4 gold's about the best you could get out of it, and it doesn't really sell that well. So the best thing you can do is salvage it. What you do end up with is a shard, which is worth about 3 gold right now. 2.9 actually. So here's the numbers. Here's the final numbers. If we look at the crate only, Lunarite, we got 14, value 32 silver. The Magic Mysterious Garden Powder, we got 9, value at 18. Moon Dust, 86, yada yada yada. Going all the way down, you get a total value of those 42 crates of 219.87 gold, or 219 gold and 87 silver. Each crate costs me 7 labor to open. Now again, I'm talking, I've got the mitigation. I'm 30% labor mitigation, but we're talking legacy servers. These are people that's been playing a while, and that's what I really want to look at here. What are these numbers looking like for those people that actually have the skill? There was 42 crates, so that means it cost me 294 labor to open it. If I stopped and the only thing I did was an hour of farming, I made 219, or just say 220 gold, and my silver to labor ratio is almost 75 silver per labor point. That's pretty fucking amazing. Pretty fucking amazing. Now, a lot of people just throw this crap out. The armors, the weapons, and the accessories, absolutely chuck those. Those are, unless you need to salvage them, like I'm in handicraft and I can actually use the shards right now, but you know, for most people, if you're just going for the best value, just garbage the accessories. So anyway, what I did here is the labor to open each one was 28. And what happened here, the assumed value, what I did is I said, okay, the greens I'm going to sell for 3 gold each. The blues I'm going to sell for 5 gold each. The arcanes I'm going to sell for 8 gold each. And the uniques I'm going to sell for 25 gold each. Hit and miss on a lot of this stuff, but a lot of it is going to sell. Like my experience when I was leveling up my dwarf was like pretty much everything I listed was selling at or even above those rates. Like some of the items are actually probably more valuable than that. But I don't play the markets enough to know exactly, what everybody is looking for. I think people have an idea what they want, but long story short is added those all up, divided it by the quantity that I received, and what I ended up was an approximate value. Multiplied that by the quantity received, and that's how I get this assumed total. Now you notice over here in the accessories why I say 38 labor instead of 28. Even though they were only 40 to open, I actually had to put another 10 labor to even stone them to get that shard out of it. So what ended up happening was I'm guessing I'm going to get right around 226 gold. Very labor intensive, which is actually good. I mean, if people are just logging in to burn their labor, this is not too bad, not too bad. It blew through 1,000 labor, 1,100 labor of mine. So if you just look at the armor, weapons, and jewelry alone, you're still getting about 20 silver per labor point. That's not horrible. I mean, anything above 10 or 15 is pretty decent. Especially when it's relatively quick. I mean, I spent 1 hour here, guys. So either way, I combined them both, and I got a total of basically 32 silver per labor spent in this run. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and list all my items on the auction house, and I will report back in the comments. Give me, I don't know, a couple days. I'll put them up for 48 hours, see how well they sell, let you guys know. But what I've been noticing is pretty much all those lower level armors and weapons, they're selling pretty decent. So might as well go ahead and take advantage of that while you can. So there's the numbers. That's the numbers that I came up with. 75 silver only for doing those crates. I mean, come on. That's just amazing. This was Windscour in Peace. And I did use loot pots. Now, Jason, when he did his video, I don't believe he was using loot pots, or maybe he was using one. But he did it in war. So there's a lot of zones that do go to war. Yanistir is probably the best one for my server. But if your servers are going to war, the loot drops increase, and you might have better luck than this. So here's the numbers. If you have questions, if you see an error in my math, let me know. But to me, you know what? I agree with them. Larceny, pretty good.